Twitter. We looks like we're live on Twitter. All right, welcome to Gamcast for Monday evening. Tonight, we're here to break down and explain to lay people the Supreme Court's decision on the Title IX, the Biden-Harris complete rewrite of Title IX. A lot of people think it was 5-4. It really kind of wasn't. It was actually 9-0 technically for what really counted. We're going to break all that down to you. Before we do that, though, if you would, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It really does help a tremendous amount to content creators if you will do that. So, and especially if you're listening on YouTube later or Rumble, please give us a Rumble, so that'll help. So here's what happened, folks. Let's go take a look. And what is Title IX? Title IX is a law that was passed by Congress, was pretty much uniformly passed by Congress. No person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. Now, folks, we've all known what that's meant for a long, long, long time. President Biden gets elected, and one of the things he did, one of the radical things he did, was he got his Department of Education to rewrite the rules implementing this law. And the big fight that they were having was basically the Biden administration. And you can see here in April, they released these regulations in April. They were to go into effect in August, so earlier this month. Now, the main big problem that the court and that people had with these rules were they were going to newly define sex discrimination to include discrimination on the basis of sex stereotypes, sex characteristics, pregnancy-related conditions, and sexual orientation and gender identity. And what that was going to mean, according to the Biden administration, it was going to mean that if you identified as a woman, you could go in the women's locker room. If you identified as a woman, you were going to be able to play in women's sports. That's what got everybody upset. Okay, a lot of people ran to the courts. In fact, let's take a look at the various courts. Here's a good map here. The pink ones, there are no injunctions in place. In the red ones here, you'll see is about 25, 27, mainly red states. There are injunctions in place. What's an injunction? Well, injunction is when you run to the judge and you say, hey, judge, they're going to implement this new rule. All right, I'm going to be harmed by the rule, and I can show to you, court, that I think I'm going to win on the merits. And so what I'd like you to do is give me my relief now. I don't want to have to wait and go to trial and prove these things. I want my relief now. Courts enjoined the Biden administration in about half our states. In other states, they didn't enjoin it, okay? And so the Fifth Circuit and the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals, they sustained the injunctions. They said, we're going to keep it enjoined. We're not going to let you have men in women's locker rooms and playing men's sports, etc., right, until you see if you can win this case. And the government said, no, that's not how it's going to work. They ran to the Supreme Court. And so the majority decision, this is where you get into your 5 and your 4. That what happened is the people that the government in the Fifth and in the Sixth, they appealed, one to Gorsuch because Gorsuch is over, I believe, the Fifth Circuit, and the other to Alito because he's over the Sixth Circuit. They can make the decision themselves. They don't have to. They can, but in this case, they increasingly do. They referred it to the entire court. That's why you have 9 justices coming out with a decision. And what you'll see here is the court in the majority, what got 5 votes was this, that the government argued that, hey, these people came to court and they only really objected to 3 provisions, right? The ones having to do with sexual orientation and gender identity. So we should leave it alone as to all the other rules should go forward, right? And the majority said, no, you can't sever these 3 important components from the entirety of the rule. Therefore, I'm going to stay the whole thing, right? And the dissent said, no, you should only stay it as to these things. One little other tidbit you're not hearing from other people, because mainly they don't have legal training that are talking about it, is part of the problem and the reason the government is likely to lose here is that Biden, as per usual, didn't bother to follow the rule. What you're supposed to do in April is have notice and comment for about a year and a half, and then implement a new rule. They got rid of all of that and just basically rammed this rule through. So anyway, this is a pretty good signal that this will be struck down in its entirety, but then now you understand what's going on with Title VII. Again, if you would, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and if you do, I will see you on the next one.